Hello, everybody. Welcome back after SIMCAT 5. A few approaches. Let's begin with the first question of my selection. Fourth question. Now, here we have a function which is defined, and we are told that the minimum value of the function becomes 10. This could have been a little lengthy or a difficult question otherwise. But look at the values that are set here. 2 and 8 gives you a 10. Suppose I write f of x is equal to modulus of x plus 2 plus modulus of x minus 8. The minimum value of this is 10. If I take x and anywhere between plus 2 and minus 2, including the 2. So if I select x as 0, I simply have 2 plus 8, 10. If I select x as 1, I have 3 plus 7 is equal to 10. So this has become a very, very easy question for those who know this part. Otherwise, it is quite a bit frightening. Now, this already gives you a minimum value 10. Now, when there are 3 moduli, the minimum value is achieved when the middle value out of the 3, the middle value must be 0. And that means this must be the middle value. X minus n must be between these two moduli. So for this modulus becomes x is 0. I mean, the value of modulus is 0 when x is minus 2. And this becomes 0. The third moduli becomes 0 when x is equal to plus 8. So this middle value, x minus n, must be between minus 2 and plus 8 inclusive. X minus n should be minus 2 or plus 8 or any number in between. And that should be 0. That means n should be 2 or minus 8. N should be minus 8 to plus 2. If I take n as 2, then obviously x will be 2. If I take n as 3, x will be 3. The middle value will be achieved there. So n can change anywhere from minus 8 to plus 2. So this is 11 values. Remember, this is not 10 values, this is 11 values. Understand why this question has been asked. Many people would give 10 as an answer. 11 possible values. So your right answer to be entered was 11. Remember, if there are numbers, how many numbers are there from A to B? Assuming that A is smaller, it is B minus A plus 1. Remember, how many numbers are there from A to B? B minus A plus 1. Two varieties of tea being mixed. And then we are asked the profit percent because the trader is making some mistake. Now, let's understand the allegation cross. We are mixing two varieties, one costing 100 and one costing 160, to get a mixture which is the cost price is 140 divided by 1.3. Appears that this is going to be a difficult calculation. No, multiply, because we need a ratio, I can multiply everything by 1.3. 1.3 into 100 gives me 130. 1.3 into 16, 160 is 13 into 16, 208. And obviously this becomes 140 now. See how easy the calculations are. This becomes 10 and this becomes 68. The allegation cross quickly tells us that we are supposed to mix, the trader is supposed to mix in the ratio 68 is to 10. This can be simplified to 60, 34 is to 5. But wait, 10 is already a good number for that 20%. So keep it as 68 and 10. Now, what is the mistake the trader makes? He takes 68 kilograms of the first and 20%, 2 kilograms more of the second variety. Now, we don't know whether it is knowingly or unknowingly. Obviously, it seems unknowingly. And this is going to be important for the question solving part. So he's taking a total of 80 kilograms. Now, what are the actual costs? 68 kilograms of the first variety are costing 100, 6,800. 12 kilograms of the second variety costing 160 is 1,920. with a total cost being 8,720 rupees. Now, what does he charge? He charges the customer only for the quantity he intended. He did not intend 12 kilograms of the second. He intended 68 plus 10, 68 plus 10, 78 kilograms. So he charges only for the 78 kilograms, 78 into 140. 14 into 8 is 112. And we'll put a 0 for the 0. 14 into 8, 112. 2 carry 11. 14 into 7, 98. 98 plus 11, 109. From this, subtract the cost of 8,720. That gives you 2,200 rupees profit. And now we need the profit percentage. So 2,200 is supposed to be divided by 8,720. You can use a calculator here. And you can use approximation. First, cancel out a 0, cancel out a 4. So we have 55 by 218. Remember, 55 by 218. I wish I had 2 more here. So I need to add some corresponding value in the numerator also. All my options tell me that my answer is somewhere close to 22, 23, 25%. So 25% of 2 is 0.5. So I will make it 555.5 upon 220. This is an approximation. And then I multiply by 100. So it becomes 555 by 22. This is my answer. Do it slowly and you will have your answer as 25.22 something, 25.23%. But you will have a very close answer. 25.2 is to be there. So the correct answer is option D, 25.23%. Quadratic equations. What is the summation of the roots? Summation of the roots we all know is minus b by a. What is the product of the roots? Product of the roots is c by a. Okay, all of you learn this. There's one more thing you should always learn, the difference of the roots. What is the difference of the roots? Difference of the roots is root delta by a. The difference of the roots is root delta by a. Now, question says your roots are p and q, and p minus q, mod p minus q, that means the difference is 7. A is already 1. So root delta is 7 and delta is 49. Now, what was delta? B square minus 4ac. The standard B is c, so c square minus 4 into a is 1. And the c part here is minus of c square minus 1. So let's take the minus sign and minus sign common and cancel it out with this. So it is c square plus 4c square plus 4 is equal to 49. 5c square is equal to 45. C square is equal to 9 and c is equal to plus 3 or minus 3. Now the question is, it could be plus 3 minus 3, but the question is, then what values of p and q are possible? Then the values of p and q are what? Now see, what is the summation of the roots? Minus b by a. A is 1. So this is minus b, and our standard b in this term is c, which is plus minus 3. So minus or plus minus 3 again is plus minus 3. Plus 3 or minus 3. The summation of the roots should be plus 3 or minus 3. 4 and minus 3, summation is plus 1, not our answer. 6 and minus 1 is 5, not our answer. 10 and 3 is 13, not our answer. So our answer here comes from minus 5 plus 2 is minus 3, and that is the answer. The correct answer is option B. The others are not possible. That's the answer. Option B is the right answer. An interesting question. XY are digits. XY is a 4-digit number. We can take XY common and write it as XY into 101. Well, let's write it as 101 into XY. Remember, xy is a 2-digit number here. Now this number is divisible by 12. That means xy has to be divisible by 12. Xy must be divisible by 12. So what can be xy? Simply 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 72, 84 and 96. So this is 12 into 1 to 12 into 8. 8 possible values. Now we need the average of all of these. So we need actually 101 into 12 plus 101 into dot 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 and then 101 into 96 and then average. Because this is an AP, we can find the average of the first and the last. I don't need to find the average of all 8. I'll simply do 101 into 12 plus 96, taking the first and last and 101 common. That is 101 into 104 by 2, 108 by 2, which is 54. 54 into 101 is 5454. And that gives us the answer. The average of these for all the possible numbers is 5454. That's the answer. An infinite GP. That clearly means R is between -1 and +1. And obviously all the options are that. We are not lucky enough to just find an answer just by this method. But look at the options and look at the weight. The first term, the second term and the third term. The summation of the second term, third term and the first term are in the ratio 25:36. So let the first term be simply 1. 1 upon 25. The second term would be R. The third term will be R square. So we have 36 is equal to 25R square plus 25R. Ultimately, we have 25R square plus 25R minus 36 is equal to 0. 25 into 36, first into last is 900. And we can split 25 as plus 45 minus 20, getting given us a total of minus 900. I have not written the minus sign here, but it's obvious. So now how do I get my roots? Change the sign, minus 45 plus 20 and divide by the constant term, coefficient of the x square term. So divide by 25. Anyway, R cannot be negative because all the values are positive. So R is 25 by 20 by 25, 4 by 5. That's the answer. We could have even gone by trial and error. The summation, the ratio of the first term to the second and third, ratio of the summation of the second and third is 25 by 36. Simply take your first term as 25. Now, if I try 1 by 5, my second term becomes 5 and the third term becomes 1. And this total is just 6, not 36. So if I try 25 and 4 by 5, the ratio has got 4 by 5. My second term will be 25 into 4 by 5, 20. 20 into 4 by 5 gives me 16. And this gives me 36. That's the answer. I could have simply done this also. A very quick approach by going by options. The diagram here is not drawn to scale. And remember, in geometry, diagrams will not be drawn to scale. It's you who have to understand the actual figure. So luckily, I'm making a good diagram for you here. Okay, so let's draw a chord perpendicular to the chords. Of course, second is not a chord. This is a chord. The smaller chord AB is 12, so it becomes 6, 6. Here we have a rectangle, so this becomes 6. This is given to you as 2, so this becomes 2 here. All we need to do is connect the chord end of the chord part here and take it as R. And this is X and do a Pythagoras. R square is equal to, like if I take the smaller triangle first, 6 square plus X plus 2 whole square. And in the bigger triangle here, this triangle here, right angle, 2 Pythagoras. R square is equal to 8 square plus X square. From this, we can solve for X and then ultimately get R. Now, one more good thing is 6 and 8. This part of the half chord is 8. Obviously, this tells us that this would have also been a 2, but we are not concerned with that. 6, 8, 10 is a right angle triangle. We all remember this. You should have just looked at the option. You have an option 10. You should have tried the radius as 10 and made sure that 2 is got correctly. So if this 2 becomes set here, correct. Why do all the theory? You have a 6, 8, 10 triangle, center of the circle. This is 6, this is 8, and this would be 10. In the second chord part, this becomes 10, this becomes 8. So this part becomes 6, and 8 minus 6, 2 is what we achieved. So that is matching with the data. So we could have selected very quickly the option 10. Option B, 10 is the right answer. Division, remainder. A wonderful theory you can remember here. If there is any number like 1, 2, 3, 4, divide by 9, what is the remainder? All you do is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. 10 divided 10 is greater than 9. You further divide it and say, okay, 1 plus 0. 1 is the remainder. Suppose I want to divide 1, 2, 3, 4 by 99. What will be the remainder? I'll simply do 34. I'll split it into two parts. Here I was splitting into individual digits. Now I'll split it into a group of two digits. 12 and 34. Add 12 and 34. 46 is the remainder. If I want to divide 1, 2, 3, 4 by 999, I'll simply make groups of three digits. So it is 234 plus 1. 235 is the remainder. So now my question is 6383, 6383, 6383 written 200 times, 200 digits, and then dividing by 4 nines. See, a group of 4 digits written 50 times, repeated 4 into 50 is 200, 50 times. The group is repeated 50 times to give you your full number. So when you split your number into groups of 4, 4, 4, you have 6383, 6383, 6383. So all you are supposed to do is 6383, 6383, 6383, 50 times. And then add. Obviously, we'll not add, we'll multiply. We'll do 50 multiplied by 6383. 6383. So 0, 5 into 3, 15, carry 1, 40, 41, carry 4, 15 and 4, 19, carry 1, 31. This should be the remainder. But again, we see that it is greater than 9999. So again, make groups of 4. Shift the 31 here. And you have the remainder 9181. That's the final 9181. Option 1, 9181 is the answer. Now, I keep saying management is not for people who are frightened cowards, darpoke. The leader of a company, the leader of a country cannot be a coward. We need people who are not darpoke. So this question is a Darauna question. It's a frightening question for those who don't understand theory. It's a frightening question for those people who don't want to do any trials. You are not ready to do a trial. Why would somebody want to give you an admission? You don't want to do anything. So this question is for those who are ready to do something on their own. Now, one, they have frightened you by putting a question on functions. Second, they have frightened you by not telling you how many times f, how many times g. Is it f of g? Is it f of g? How many times are you repeating? So it's a frightening question, but very easy for those who are ready to do something. If you are determined to work hard, you have your admission. So first, let's find g of 10. So first we'll find g of 10. Whatever result we get, we'll put it into f. Whatever result we get, we'll put it into g. We'll keep putting the result of one into the other. So I've said g of f, and I'll not write brackets. I'll simply say g10 will be 10 minus 3, 7. So we give a 7. Now we'll put f of 7. We'll try to find f of 7. So I'll simply write f of g of 7. G of 10 will be obviously 7. So I'll put a 7 here. 3 minus 7 is minus 4 modulus, so gives me a 4. Now I'm supposed to do g of 4. So here I'll put 4 minus 3 and I get 1. G of f of g of 10 would be 1. अब 1 का करना है मुझे f. I need to do f of this. So 3 minus 1 is 2. So fg is equal to 2. Now I need to put the 2 back into g. So g gives me 2 minus 3, 1. Wow. 1, I got 2. 2 gave me 1. 1 will give me 2. 2 will give me 1. So if I now have f of g of f of something, this is going to be 2. So anybody who tried this much would have an answer. So if you're ending with an f, your answer is 2. If you're ending with a g, your answer is 1. And remember, both of them are in the options. So don't be hasteful. Be calm, be composed. We know that we are supposed to end with an f. So your answer is 2. Your correct answer is option B, 2. So don't be frightened of looking at a question by just looking at a question. Try to see why they've asked you this question. A very easy question. We have Abhay here with a speed of 40. We'll calculate above 40 later on. Behind Abhay, we have Santosh, who is 200 meters behind. And ahead of Ajay is Sanjay. Sanjay is 1000 meters ahead. And he is coming towards, of course, Santosh is also coming towards each other. Now, the key part important is same speed. Sanjay and Santosh have the same speed. So Sanjay and Santosh we can see are 1200 meters apart. And if they're the same speed, they will both cover 600 meters. So Sanjay will approach. This will cover 600 meters. He is 1000 meters away from Abhay. So Abhay has to cover 400 meters. When Abhay covers 400, Sanjay covers 600. When Abhay covers 40, Sanjay will cover 60. Now that 40 can be kilometers, it's a ratio. So 40 can be kilometers, it can be meters, it can be feet, whatever. So if the speed of Abhay is 40, the speed of Sanjay is 60. A very easy question. The answer is 60 kilometers per hour. So that's it for today. There were a few algebra questions, but you can look at the solutions. The solutions have made it very easy. I believe that would become easy for you to do it. So keep understanding the approach of the solution. In algebra, there were two questions where you could have assumed ABC. Some good values of ABC. There were two algebra questions. One was 1 upon A plus 1 upon B plus 1 upon C is equal to 0. And you're given A is equal to twice of B. Select B as 1. A becomes 2. Put the values of A and B, get the value of C, and solve. The second was something like A plus 1 upon B is M, B plus 1 upon C. Take A as 1, B as 1, C as 1. Find the values of M and N and match, see which option matches with the required answer. So select some good values. There are questions in algebra sometimes which are otherwise quite frightening. But select some good values and you will have your answer. Right? So signing off till the next SIMCAT. Goodbye and best of luck again. Work hard, stay safe.